I want to talk about this poem today because I want to talk about how to celebrate your ancestral past. And that is what this poem does. And it's something that is pretty much forbidden to do, or becoming increasingly forbidden to do now. There are a million reasons why we're not allowed to delight in and relish the long gone past of our forebears. Often we are accused of racism when we do it, right? Isn't it? How can you celebrate the old traditions of the West? Aren't other kinds of cultures just as good? How can you be proud of this group of mostly European white people? That's one way that we're forbidden from celebrating it. It's considered jingoistic. You're glorifying war. You're glorifying all this stuff that, now as modern civilized people, we're simply not allowed to relish and delight in. And weren't all the other cultures just as good anyway? Well, first of all, no, Western culture is the best culture. But even, having conceded that, in fact, there are many fascinating traditions, although I think that Western culture is the greatest culture, I also think that Beowulf is not anything that you might say it is if you were just going off of the kind of knee-jerk identity politics reaction. It's not jingoist. It's not simplistic, although it is very old. And although it is unapologetic in its celebration of the ancestral past of the Danes, although it is unapologetic in that it is nuanced. It's a tremendously nuanced, complicated, morally complex. And it is a terrible lie that complexity and patriotism or celebration of one's history and past don't go together, that complexity and celebration are mutually exclusive. It is the lie of, for example, the 1619 Project, which tells us that in order to have a sophisticated view of American history, we must constantly be excoriating ourselves for the terrible things that happened in American history. As if patriots don't know that slavery was bad, or don't talk about slavery and how bad it was. This notion that we kind of have all conspired, all patriots, all Americans, all American history teachers who like America, or indeed love America, have all conspired to just shove the shortcomings away. Nicole Hannah-Jones, the architect of the 1619 Project, said something like, it's treated as an asterisk. It's a complete lie. It's just nonsense. And in fact, if you go back to the great patriotic documents of our American past, what you will find is not jingoism at all, but a tremendously clear-eyed, a searingly clear-eyed awareness of times when America has not lived up to its potential greatness and to the greatness of its ideals. And it's because of the love with which our greatest patriots have approached American history that they were able, more than any 1619 Project or Howard Zinn or New York Times writer, more than any of those people, they were able in excruciating terms to excoriate America for having fallen short in the times when it did.